So thank you so much, Karen Hall, for being here today. I'm very excited, looking forward to speaking with you and hearing all about your beautiful business, Reputation by Design, and painting a picture for us as to, what you do and what's brought you here, who you help, and why your services are quite unique. I really have been watching you well before we met, and I really love your manner and your feel, and I think that shines through with everything that you do. So I'm thrilled to have you here today. So welcome.
Thank you so much. So yeah, we're in the business of helping business owners and individuals proactively grow their reputation. So rather than leave it to chance, or that it organically grows over time, really kind of supercharging that and helping them understand the leverage points and the techniques and the tools that they've got available to themselves to bring that forward. So, being proactive about it rather than reactive, or just, it muddling along. So our
That's so true, because we sort of get caught in the day-to-day, which, fair enough.
Yep.
And it's very easy to be reactive. I love that. Be more strategic or consider.
Absolutely, and bring it to the forefront, because we do that with a lot of other aspects of our business and our life, and it just requires a little bit of focus, but also the knowledge to understand that there are some tools and techniques and things available to business owners and individuals that are looking to grow their own brands to fast track that. And so the things that we focus on to help businesses do that, particularly entering awards. So entering and winning awards, and helping them also supercharge their social media, because again, people can be hot and cold with their social media. They can love it one week and then forget about it for 2 months, and be really disjointed with that, or not even have a strategy around it. When you put those two things together,
I was going to say, I think it's the combination too, isn't it? It's one thing being a finalist or winning, but it's then
amplifying that.
That's right.
100%. So when you put those two things together, it is literally 1 + 1 = 3, because the way the power in awards is how you amplify that, what you actually do with it. You can win an award and put it on the shelf like the one behind me and not tell anyone, or you can win an award and tell your referral partners, your clients, obviously, and put it out on all of your other socials, and your email marketing, on your signature, and your business proposals out to prospects.
True.
Everyone gets to know that, and the trust and credibility that comes along with that is just massive.
It is massive, isn't it? It's that a third-party endorsement that is, seen to be an expert in your field, which
100%, which instantly brings trust and credibility, and all of the research backs that up. And particularly then into that, a passion piece of ours is helping and enabling and educating more women to put themselves out there and help them shine a light on the incredible stuff that they're doing within their business. So we know the research says that women only win 13% of awards internationally, and we make up 49% of the population. So, and in the business world, we are kicking goals everywhere. So why is that? And certainly one of the reasons we've found in business is that women don't put themselves up there for awards. They don't enter as many awards as men do. So why is that? And also women, nominating women would be another key way that we could impact that. So you've got to be in it to win it.
Imagine if we just made a pact at the start of every year as women in business that we would nominate 6 women for the next year, each, because there is a bit of a season with awards, and so we pick, and surely we all know 6 extraordinary women easily.
We definitely do.
I mean, maybe we could do more, but let's set realistic goals, and then like the impact of that is beautiful, far-reaching. Because I notice with women, and I suppose I'm no different, that it's not easy to put ourselves forward. It is not. It is not innate for many of us. It's not comfortable. However, we're very comfortable in saying, "Have you met my friend Karen? She's amazing because blah 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 blah. You need to meet her."
Yep,
we do that.
Yep. And it just would take that icky away from self-nomination. Now, again, from all of our experience, 90% of awards entries are self-nomination, and the men are doing that. If we go out, we might, an award might open tomorrow, we'll have men flooding in with self-nominations. And then we'll go out and tell some women about an award and they go, I'm not quite ready. Maybe next year will be my year. And that is genuine feedback that we're getting even this week. So if we could, again, support each other, just as you've said, and help take that icky away, and it'd be really genuine and authentic about it, because we do know some incredible women.
Yeah.
I nominate the women I know because I believe in them and I think they're deserving. That could absolutely change it. And even if they didn't go on and enter, it would definitely amplify, I've been nominated.
It's extraordinary. Yes.
The communications and the communications out to even their team as well. So we know that award-winning businesses have much better retention and engagement rates for their team. Every time we win an award, our team just is so excited.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's valuing the whole team, isn't it? Because everyone plays a part. Yeah,
but they just feel excited to be part of an award-winning team, and why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? I remember years ago I was nominated for an Australian award, and I had no idea who'd nominated me. And in the end, a lady came forth who I had never met, still have never met, and she messaged me and she said, "Jane, I've been watching you for quite some time. I love your feel. I love what you do, blah, blah, blah. I nominated you." And I thought it beyond made my day, my week, that someone who has never met me, and actually she wasn't a client as such, she'd never spent money, she'd never done any of that, but just because she believed in me, went to that effort. I was very touched, really. And to this day, this is years later, of course, now.
And you still remember how it made you feel.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So it has value on so many levels. So how it makes the business owner or the individual feel, they can share that with their teams. They may absolutely go on and enter. But even if they don't, share that with everyone and sundry, the amplification of that in terms of the trust and credibility. And if they do go on and then become a finalist and win, that just,
amazing. Yeah. And on the days, there are many a day that is a bit wobbly in business or a bit challenging, and to know this, to win, to even be nominated, like whatever level you get to, it gives you that little pep along that you are on the right track and helping your audience and making a difference in the world. We all need that from time to time.
100%. And we're not good at giving it to ourselves.
No, I'm well aware.
So that really does help to bring that to the fore. Just as, the other thing I just, on the side of that, is just asking for Google reviews. So again, if you're not good at that as a business owner, really put yourself out there and ask for those reviews, and even have a system in place to do that, because you will be massively surprised and impressed how many people will say amazing things about you if you just ask. So we definitely have a system in place whereby whenever we finish a project with a client, we will ask them for a review. And sometimes they'll get busy, they'll say yes, and then we might just need one follow-up, and sometimes we do one follow-up. Google reviews are incredibly important for businesses, plus how it makes you feel as the business owner, particularly on those tricky weeks or days, plus how incredibly fulfilled your team feel about it as well. Because every time we get a review, a 5-star review, if it's on LinkedIn or Google Business Profile, which we definitely prioritize for the Google rankings, we share that with the team. And if someone's particularly mentioned, like Crystal or Jack or Laura, we share that with them.
Of course,
the moment we get it as well. So
such a lovely public acknowledgement of the effort and pride that goes into what you do.
Yep. Acknowledging it, so responding obviously to the client that's taken the time to do that, and then sharing it with the team.
Of course, yeah. And so tell me about your, like, the nuts and bolts of how you work. If as a potential client possibly considering coming to you to use your services, how does that work, please?
Yeah, so on a very individual level, the first question we'll ask, particularly on the awards, is what do you want to be famous for? Because we've got a client in real estate, but they don't want to enter real estate awards. They are all about the people and culture. So the culture they're setting up and how that differentiates them from other real estate agencies. So we're entering them into people and culture awards, not real estate awards. So you can definitely, and we will do some bespoke research for every individual client about what they want to be famous for. And that can be industry specific, it can be local awards, but it also can be outside of industry, through to something like diversity and inclusion, community champion, equality, or people and culture as the example I've just given.
I love that, because that's I love that they're very clear on what they want to be known for and be acknowledged for, and also a bit of lateral thinking there, because your first thought, naive thought, is stick to industry, but of course there are many other options.
100. And their point of difference is the culture they're establishing for their agents. So they want to be an attraction-based business to attract the best agents.
Beautiful.
So a lot of industry awards will rank, business metrics really highly. That's not what they stand for. They stand for the culture that they are supporting their agents around. And so I've got lots of examples of that. A lot of them will default to industry. So if you're in the cybersecurity industry, we'll look at the cybersecurity awards for you as well. But we do like to think really laterally and really outside of the box for our clients as well. So step one is that in the individualized bespoke research. So what do you want to be famous for? Where do you operate? Because there are state-based awards, national awards, international awards.
Of course.
Our Australian clients are entering international awards at the moment as well, just in terms of where they want to take their brand, etc. And the best clients that we work with take a longer approach than just the next award coming up. So we might do an annual calendar for them as well. So these are clever. The next this financial year, because we've just ticked over, or the next calendar year, or the next 12 months, whatever it might be. And these are the ones that we would prioritize and recommend for you. That's why. And then once they've chosen, the ones they want to go for, we will then do up a quote for them. The pricing is based on how long each award is. Because
they're all so different, aren't they?
The shortest ones we've written are about 300 words. The longest are about 5,000. So obviously it's cheaper to do the 300 than the 5,000 one. And then we've got a team of journalists, and we interview the client. So we don't use copywriters, we use journalists specifically because it's their job to probe and find angles and pitches and points of difference with each client, so that they really stands out. It really stands out for the judges, and the judge can step back and say, well, okay, I've never read anything like that before. So we find journalists.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so journalists, one, they're really great at storytelling. They love people, so they're really and they. I think also our team particularly loves the variety of speaking to lots and lots of different people and finding out their different stories and engaging with those. So, sometimes it's a challenge to get under the word count or stay under the word count because there's so much to say.
Yes, of course.
Every client story is so different.
And I'd imagine part of that art is actually keeping it, have an interesting angle, but keeping it contained, because it's got to fit into the amount of words required. And for many of us, we live and breathe our businesses, so containing it in a succinct but interesting way is actually super hard. Well, journalists usually write to a word count, and they're and that's what they're brilliant at. Of course it is.
But there's two parts to it. You technically have to answer the question, and one of the biggest bugbears of judges is that someone's just slapped in some marketing copy. They haven't actually answered the question. And questions can be multifaceted. You could have 3 questions in one question.
Yes.
We have to answer every single component piece of those. So technically we have to tick each box, and then emotionally we have to connect with the judges as well and say something that's quite unique. So we use 3 S's, so storytelling, so really emotionally connecting with the judges, and it's mainly about the client stories. So it's client stories, if you like. Statistics, so backing up every claim possible with a statistic as proof, and then being really specific about any example that we give. So no motherhood statements, being really specific with every example and proof point, etc. And that comes back to
brilliant. Okay, what happens next step?
So then we would draft, so interview, that we take a couple of days just to draft that up for the client and send the client back the draft, encouraging them not to add on 500 more words, but keeping it under word count just in case we've missed anything or misinterpreted an acronym or something. Another key skill of the journalist is to de-jargonize. The key point is the judges may not be from within the industry, that is wrong. Really de-jargonize that, and hope that the client doesn't put in all the acronyms again.
That's a really valid point. We just assume because we're in the industry.
In both your and my industry and every industry, we have this internal language.
We do.
Strip that out and put it into layman's terms for the judges that are ex-industry. And get the feedback, and then we will do a final polish, proofread, obviously no typo, no grammar errors, etc., final word count, and then we actually submit it all online. So everything is online portal, so it saves the client a hell of a lot of time, energy, effort, frustration, because the portals don't always work.
No, and not at the 11th hour. They often crash because there's too much going on.
Passwords set up, and we also coordinate all of the attachments, so headshots, logos, any other visual attachments that are required just to bring the writing to life visually. So we do all of that, and some of our clients have mentioned, they've done theirs themselves before. With our help, they've saved 10 to 12 hours, depending on the.
I have no doubt. It's an enormous time zap. Awards, yes. And so tell me about the other part to your services, which is the leveraging on socials, whether whatever level that you get to with the awards process. But I love that is equal part in your services there, because that's often really hard to tell everyone. And
yeah, 100%. So we, if we have a social media manager client anyway, then we are doing their social media manager ongoing.
Right.
So, and this would form part of it, or we can definitely help clients. It's kind of a project based as well. So we would definitely amplify and create the content, the images, the hashtag strategy, the geotags, everything around that for their nomination. So if it's self-nominated, we just choose some language that works around that. My team and I are incredibly proud to be nominated, or, I've nominated our team for this award, and pop that out on every social that's important to them. So some are really heavily LinkedIn, some are across all. And the community management, so engaging with the comments off the back of that is really, really important. So award posts go off. They just do. Everyone is just so excited for, all of the people that our clients that, we ever do this for. So liking and replying to all of those comments is super, super important. Don't just leave people hanging. Yeah. Then we do the same for a finalist announcement. So again, when you've got we've just had some this week for our clients, they get the little badge and all the paraphernalia around that. They're really, really excited. So hopefully we get a photo with them with that. So it's called UGC. So user generated content is much more engaging than just a stock photo. So we want a photo with our client with that badge, etc. Exactly the same thing. So copy, image, user generated image, hashtags, geotagging, team tagging. So tagging everyone that supported them around that. The more tagging we can do, the more engagement we'll get. And then the community management around engaging for that. And then finally, if they're a winner as well, but leading up to the win, we can also celebrate, tomorrow is the...
Because that's happening.
Yes.
So
Finalists a little bit, the finalist announcement can move, but the winner announcement is always a gala.
Yes.
Lunch, etc. So, can't wait till tomorrow. Super, super excited, tagging the team, tagging the mentor, tagging, the aggregator, the, whoever, franchise or everyone else. And then obviously you want lots of photos at the night that are appropriate. So lots of, stories or reels that can be taken of the night at the night on the stage with other people, and then post that. There's obviously lots more engagement and posts that you can have, what did I learn at that conference and or at the night, and thanking everyone that's been involved. So that's at least 5 posts of leverage, not counting the reels and the stories that are actually real time. And you can do flashbacks and other things as well.
True. Yeah. I love the proactive approach across the whole process of what you've just said, and rather than, which happens to all of us, and when you're busy and caught in day to day of being reactive, I really love that it's more considered, and you're encouraging your clients and leading them, really having discussions, but then helping the strategic process with whichever are the right awards, and then all that comes with that. I think it's really clever, and probably an under or a dismissed avenue of marketing that people don't think about, don't give enough value to.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I was in marketing for about 20 years before I, tapped into this and went, what? Why are, and particularly small business owners, there are so many. We've got a database of over 2,000 awards that I know of. So there's more out there as well once we, look really internationally. And we've got a US client in cybersecurity. We've won 18 awards for them in the last 2 years. Before we started with them, they're like, oh, what's this awards thing? Should we get into it? And I'm like, hell yeah. So it's one of those things that the more people learn about, the more they can get excited about it. And once they dip their toe in it, it's a little bit like a drug. So,
it is though. And I know, when I first started entering years ago, I had a retail business, product business. And I know the difference for me is once I got one award, I then won 18 in 2 years, which was amazing.
Yes.
What it did is when I was approaching shops to B2B my product, the buyers would say, oh, saw your awards. Yes. And I know that's what helped get me in the door with a number of the shops.
Yep, 100%. We often hear that on prospect calls, on sales calls. Yep. 100%. But you've got to put it out there. This
is it. You can't keep that secret because that doesn't.
I had the real estate client I was telling you about earlier. I had to slap myself because I was getting angry with them because they hadn't put their 2 awards. We'd written their awards for them. They hadn't put them out everywhere. And so I said, guys, I'm doing your socials for you. This is ridiculous. So we now do their social media for them. And I just let myself think, oh, it's not, I was to blame. I hadn't offered in that case out there. So I knew they were doing their own socials and I expected that would happen.
I'm
doing it. Just leave it to me. It's done. So, you've got to leverage it. It's not. That's
it. Otherwise, it's just such a lost opportunity, isn't it? And telling mum, dad, and your family. It's all very well, but like it's prospective clients and contacts and possible clients that they need to hear. Media everywhere.
Yeah. Well, actually, you've touched on a good point because one of the really interesting things that comes out of winning is that you'll often get a lot of media opportunities. So podcasts, interviews offered to you, articles written about you, that kind of thing. So and it just kind of blows up from there.
It does. And the sort of level of media who then approach you, this is what I've found. When I approached that same media prior, I could barely get a response. And then I had a little internal giggle thinking here, and it was wholly and solely the awards that they were chasing me. And I thought, wow, it's amazing how this works.
Yeah. We had a guy, a mortgage broker in Warrnambool, it's a little town, and he won a massive award. And all of the media in Warrnambool picked it up. And what that did, because all of the articles were also contained his photo, now when you Google his name, his photo is everywhere on Google and his articles are everywhere on Google. So the SEO impacts of, if you backtrack it right back to winning the awards, all of the articles that now show up on Google, as soon as you type in his name, and he would never have had that SEO impact or effect if he hadn't won that award. So there's massive kudos there. And the other thing you would definitely do is put all of those articles on LinkedIn under the publication section, because that can help you be found 7 times more on LinkedIn as well, once you've filled in your publication section. So massive SEO benefit once you get to that kind of level as well.
Yeah, and again, that's leverage, but that's also, to me, what that tells me is it is integral to get advice from you or your company, because we're good at our craft. We can't all be good at everything in small business. No. You just can't. There isn't the bandwidth to do that. So to get the most amount of leverage is, engage specialists.
Yeah, well, just like I'll get styling specialist help from you. So I can't be amazing at everything in business. I've got a business coach to help me with the financials, the operations, that kind of thing. 100%. We need to surround ourselves with people that are specialists in the areas that we're not. Yeah, I think that's a really, really, really good point. And we also are really honest with our clients. If we don't feel that they are going to be competitive in a particular award, we'll tell them, because we want them to save their money for the awards that they're going to be competitive in, because that helps our win rate as well as doing the right thing by them. So we had a situation this week where we just told a client, I don't think this award is right for you. There are going to be other, we believe, just based on our experience, that there are going to be other contestants that, will be doing this. Let's find other awards for you.
Yeah, I love that you do that. I think that's it shows such integrity, because look, it costs time, money, energy, and sort of all of those things. And if they're not the right fit, lead them the right way, or put the money into something that they're more suited and got more of an opportunity of, Well,
I just know that there's another award that is incredible for them. We're going to make less money out of it, and that's okay, but they're going to do really well at this other award.
That's beautiful.
And I just know that they're going to do really well. So, everyone wins then, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that.
Yeah.
I would add, because I find that too, what I do is, I'm not the right, I can't be the right match for everybody. But if we're not quite aligned, I would rather say, and I do say, look, you know what? I know someone who will be perfect for you. Would you like me to do an introduction? And then it's perfect all round. It's not about my bottom line in those instances. I think it's more important to have integrity and show, have a better fit for all parties concerned.
100%. Otherwise, it's just going to feel
not aligned. Yeah.
And you want flow, and you want the person to get the very, very best outcome, and then they're going to refer you to someone else anyway. Well, that's how business works.
Yeah, it's a much nicer way of doing business, isn't it?
Yep, 100%. Yeah.
So, is there anything else we need to add? You've painted such a beautiful picture of the flow of your business and the process for potential clients and how you work, which I really love. And obviously I'll add all your details on my end. Yeah, is there anything else?
I just really love your idea of nominating 6 women. We know so many more women than that.
We do. That just came to me while I was talking to you. It's so funny. It wasn't pre-planned at all, but I think it's a brilliant little idea that we could do.
Yeah, and I know we put a post out recently on LinkedIn that was about, because there's several women's awards open at the moment, and it was about nominate a woman that that would be great for this award. And there were several, and some men nominated some women as well. But just imagine if we all took up that challenge, just what a beautiful movement that would create. And there's no pressure to go on and submit, but some will, and they'll reap the rewards from that. But I just love that idea. I think it's incredible. I might steal it. I might activate that.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I think we could do something on LinkedIn together about that.
100%. We don't I think that the direct feedback I get from women versus men when an award opens is men, yep, put me in 6 categories. Women, I think next year will be my year. You know, I've had a good year, but let's see what happens next. And that is just chalk and cheese from I've heard that conversation this week. I hear it last week.
I know you're right too. I just 100% know you're right. I'm not ready yet. I haven't got enough experience. I haven't done this. I haven't done that. My copy isn't right. All these things. We're waiting for things to be perfect.
Yes.
Myself included. And then I thought, how many years of a professional career do I need before I'm brave enough? I've been doing this forever. And then I thought, just do it. Be brave. Do it. What's the worst that can happen?
And I have to, because I have to lead by example. So I've got no excuse, right? So we've won 3 awards this year, and we're finalist in another one at the moment. And I'm waiting for it to announce. But I've got no excuse, right? I literally
not really. No. you
Imagine if I did. Oh my God. So I literally have to walk the talk and nominate both men and women that I know, but also our team, because I just think they're incredible, and we deserve, the accolades behind me. Because if I didn't, Jesus. But yeah, it's so deserving. Nothing is going to be perfect next year.
Nothing's perfect. Like, general life happens all the time, as we spoke about before we even jumped on this call today. Stuff happens all the time. So if it's loosely close or nowhere near perfect, jump anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Just the only other thing to add is just beyond social media. We've written this gorgeous content, right? It might be 1,000 words, it might be 1,500 words. You can repurpose all of that into blogs and email marketing, that kind of thing. So that in itself is worth
that's brilliant.
Our fee, the entry fee. So yeah, beyond social media, you've got all this beautiful, beautiful content, and it should never just be for the judge's eye. It should be for your clients.
Right. Yeah, that's a good reminder. Yep.
The case studies for your website, your blogs on your website, your email marketing, all of that stuff. I know when we do the email marketing for our clients, we definitely pull out the case studies and that kind of thing and pull it through as well, or the quotes. So it just doesn't stop at social media. So if you're thinking about an ROI on, our fee to prepare it for you, there's your ROI.
That's great reminders, because that's exactly right. You can then rework it. We just think
very little effort,
actually. There's so many ways you can use that.
100%. The real estate client that I was talking about earlier, we've reworked a lot of that into their internal talent acquisition book. So, how they onboard.
Because that's part of their behaviors. Yeah, that's really clever.
New agents. So, 100%. It can be as creative as you can be. It can be repurposed, and we've got so many case studies of how it can be done.
And that return on investment of your fee, oh my goodness, that's just paid for itself again and again and again by all of those different examples you've just given. Like, that's extraordinary.
Well, so we'll be with the award submission that we've just written, absolutely turning those into case studies for taking ourselves as an example, case studies for our website, and then blogs for our website, and then up into our email marketing as well.
Beautiful. Love it.
I should make a case study of ours. Case study for how we cool.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. We could chat for a long time, because it's so ideas just flow, and it's really, I love the feel of your business and you know, your ethos. Absolutely. So thank you for your time. It's really been lovely, and I look forward to watching what happens next and watching all these extraordinary recipients of yours and your team's work.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.